Okay, so we actually have our second round to see if we can get this sounding correct. This is a quick demonstration tutorial on how to route individual drum sounds out of battery to multiple tracks. Basically, so you can separate each instrument, drum in this instance, and process the snare drum differently than the hi-hat or the kick drum. Get your volumes, put effects, EQs, whatever. So I have these drums. I have kick drum, snare drum, hi-hat, and a shaker. And what I need, so it's 4 different instruments. We have one track that's holding all of that MIDI data, and I need corresponding stereo instrument tracks for each of the other instruments. So there's a total of 4 instruments, and now there's going to be a total of 4 tracks. One named for each of the outputs. So if I come over here, I'm using this kick, and you hear it coming out of this output. Same. All of them are coming out of this output because this is the host, and that's how it normally is. What we're going to do is we're going to send this snare drum, and we're going to get it to come out of the snare track. And the way that you do that is we're going to first start in battery. We're going to right-click on that pad. We're going to go to output. And 1 and 2 is the default stereo output. We're going to leave that alone for the kick drum. So this is basically the host track is output number 1 and 2. You don't need to change anything. We're going to come over to direct output and choose 3-4 for the snare. We're going to click on the hi-hat to activate it. That one is going to become 5-6. And I'm not using that. I'm using the shaker, which is going to become 7-8. All right, so now if I were to press play, I'm only going to hear the kick drum because we've routed the first half of what we were doing. We've told each of these cells to go out a separate output. But we need to now tell the input of these various tracks here to look for the output. So we come over to the snare I/O, the input I/O. Instead of bus that we've done for aux input tracks, we go to plugin. If we had more instruments, there would be more choices here. But we only have the one. So the snare is 3-4, battery 5-6 for the hi-hat, and 7-8 for the shaker. All right, so it sounds basically the exact same because everything's just now coming out its own output. I can solo the snare drum. I can come down and say, you know what, that snare drum was a little loud. I can pan the hi-hat so that it's a little bit off to the left. I can say, you know what would sound kind of neat on that shaker might be a little bit of delay. Kind of like it. You know, and again, this allows you to have individual control over all of your drums, and it's absolutely critical to be able to do. All right, there you go.